You have reached your Southern intuition. Hey y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. So the overall for the reading here is the Two of Cups. This is that feeling of excitement, even with a little bit of anxiety. When you meet someone new, someone that simply gels with you, it's that feeling like nothing else, like nobody could come between the spark the two of you have created. This feeling doesn't always mean love, nor does it always mean long term. What it does mean is that right now, you have met someone who seems to excite you. Just for now, forget about what comes next and don't get too caught up in what ifs. Instead, just allow yourself to enjoy how you are feeling in this moment, because the two of you are coming together for a reason. In the past, you have a Page of Wands, a King of Cups, and a Knight of Cups. This is a lot of energy that seems to be around you. I feel this is different energy. It's different people. 3 different energies to be, in fact. You have the adventurer, the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, who is, shows his emotions in certain ways. But then you have the Knight of Cups, who is completely excited about something. As you come here into the present moment, you have a 5 of Cups, though. There's a sense of sadness, a sense of loss, as if you have to say goodbye to someone. This energy shall be communicated. There is a lot of communication here, and this energy with the Magician is something that you yourself are creating. As you approach the immediate future, there's definitely a sense of waiting involved, waiting for something new to come here. But this kind of stresses you out. You're trying to ignore it. But things do end beautifully. You see there's someone here in the background, though. Keep an eye out. Overall, you will be feeling good this month. Take a little bit of a look here into this Page of Wands. This young page is just learning how to use her fire pearl here. She knows that it holds great power and magic, which is why she studies and she holds it tightly. She does not want to be the one who drops it or destroys it. Instead, she is going to take her time and listen very carefully to those who are teaching her how to harness her wand's gifts. This page wants to master her power, even if she makes a few mistakes or, something along the way goes wrong. She knows that missteps won't be the end of the world. Instead, they will serve as a very lesson she needs to learn to refine and focus her fire pearl. She seems to be trying to offer her fire pearl to this King of Cups. This is a good man. It's a good king. He knows how to distinguish between emotionally charged words and genuine action. He knows how to observe and get full picture of any situations or problems or conflicts. This is King Triton. He is a master at getting below his emotions, below his ego, and seeing that is truly what is there and what is not. He is the keeper of stories, a messenger, and herald, making it vitality important that he does not spread inaccurate information. This is why he holds his cup close to him, so he can keep his eye on what is really unfolding. Inside of the bubbling cup is a view into all of the goings on inside his kingdom. Nothing and nobody escapes his attention. Using the power of his intuition, Triton is able to ascertain quickly and effortlessly where his focus needs to be. You cannot come before this king and be untrue. He already knows your truth. Instead, seek the wisdom he has to offer and let him tell you what he sees for you inside his cup. Now the Knight of Cups here, who's leaning over his chalice as if it was a loving friend, he's gazing into the water. And he sees what the ability that he can read beyond his reflection in the water. His blonde locks caress his temples, and he concentrates on nothing but what is inside of this chalice. Then again, maybe we're giving him far too much credit. Let's face it, it is not beyond this knight to get lost in his own reflection and forget the rest of the world exists. He's a hopeless romantic. It seems you might have had to say goodbye to this knight, this king, this page, someone here. And that's never easy, because letting go is still hard, but not all creatures find joy in the same place, which is something the Selkie here is finding out. Her best friend is returning to the sea. Life on land is just not for her. The path they once walked together is now going to divide into two different directions, one on land, the other out at sea. Personal destiny is just that, personal. But that doesn't make it any less painful to accept that it might be time to say goodbye to someone you love. Or it could even be a fear. Now, the Eight of Wands here lies beneath all these cards. In between all these cards lies this Eight of Wands. And it talks about pressure. When pressure and the energy of a volcano get to certain intensity, it explodes and it sends everything around it up and out into the world. As you can see, now the Eight of Wands sits here beneath the entire reading. And this talks about pressure, the pressure of a volcano. That energy, when it gets to a certain intensity, it explodes and it sends everything around it up and out into the world. As you can see, the mermaid here is having trouble catching up to the fire pearl wands that's been launched from the volcanic spout below her. This intense force moves not just the wands, but the water as well. It pushes it with extreme force upward into the light, below to the above. If the mermaid is not careful, she too will be pushed into the world above, ready or not. Now is the time here. The Eight of Wands is open a channel to bring all of your ideals out of your head and into the physical world. The intensity of this opening is so great that you may feel that you are hyperactive right now, like you're pushed into hyperspeed, hyperdrive. There's no doubt that you're going to feel a certain rush and a thrill as your ideals are pulled out of the brooding vortex of the mind and thrust into the world of action. Keep in mind that the burst of energy that you got to where you are now, headed, it's not going to last, nor will it keep you there. So you must enjoy the ride. Eight of Wands traditionally is also about communication. All of this energy is leading you here into the Magician. The Magician here is in control of the currents. And she is the sea witch. She has the magic. She's got the glow. She's got the fire pearl that becomes strong and bright. Her tools of choice are laid out in front of her, and she knows she has options. For the time being, she channels the power of the wand into the fire pearl, her face a picture of focus and concentration. She keeps her hands and her mind steady, so as not to break the link between her tools and her magic. Silent incarnations are chanted in her head, and she lets go of what she thinks she knows, and allows a new sense of knowing into her thoughts. Even the fish dance and swim to the energy of her magic, knowing that they too shall benefit from her actions. There's more here at your disposal than what you actually need, and to be honest, it could be causing you a small amount of anxiety. The good news is, though, that you don't have to worry about what tool or piece of advice you use, because it will bring you a result either way. The Magician says to make the decision. What magical tool will you use? Focus that energy, and thus you will have a beautiful result. That energy shall come to you in the immediate future. It's definitely your destiny as you progress. And as you progress here, you're finding that there is nothing like seeing your goal come together. There is a wonderful sense of accomplishment in knowing that you are almost at the finish line. Almost, but not quite. Just like the Mer couple here, they are not yet finished with the creation phase known as pregnancy. They know they are getting really close to the birth of their creation, but there is still some time to go. Yet, despite the waiting, they know the result is all but certain, so they already know what's going to happen here. You've worked hard for something, and you're finally starting to see the results of it coming away here, even in the closest hours. But you're not there just yet. So now would be the worst time to ever take your foot off the gas. Instead, dig a little deeper and work a little harder so you can get yourself across the finish line, because it seems to be causing some stress. Is there anything more vulnerable than a mermaid out of the water? Exposed not only to the elements but also to wild animals and possibly humans. Our mermaid is tied up and seemingly helpless, yet looks can be deceiving, and one never knows what's hidden just beyond the frames of the scene. Our mermaid's spirit animal, the Arctic mink, may be a clue. The mink loves complexity and thrives on solving problems by pulling information from multiple sources. It seeks a deeper knowing and wants to enjoy all of the richness of life. But circumstances, this means that you must be more than the limitations. The mermaid here does not appear limited by her circumstances, but in order for her to expand and grow, perhaps this is the point. It's time to stop your excuses and move beyond your perceived limitations. Growth means digging deeper, finding new ways to solve current problems, and knowing when to be still, seemingly taking no action at all. What seems like a weakness is actually your biggest asset in the particular circumstance. Use it to your advantage. All of these energies here are leading to something beautiful. The Ten of Cups. What could be more mundane and domestic than grocery shopping at the local farmer's market? Then again, what could be more magical and grounding than doing everyday task outside in the open? Ten of Cups speaks of a need to ground emotional energy back into the world of everyday, the boring process called life, setting your weary emotions into the habitual patterns of the domesticity. It is here in the basic grind of life that we truly find flow. It is the mundane that we get lost. If we get lost and leave our stress and drama behind, it is this energy that now beckons you to calm, relax, and allow yourself to once again get swept up in the everyday tasks that compromise a life with purpose and meaning. And you're coming out beautifully. The people, the crowds, they see this night bazaar and just a glimpse of the talented and handsome young fire pearl. They watch in awe and wonder at the skill and the technique. They cheer at the end of each act, showing their ongoing support for his death-defying tricks. Our young fire pearl eater knows that each and every night his applause means victory over his fear. If for 1 second he stopped to think about the dancing dangers of what he was going and doing, he would surely be burned from the inside out. Risk and reward seem to go hand in hand. The bigger the risk, the bigger reward. But success can only happen when one's thoughts and actions are aligned. There is no place for doubt or disbelief in the victor's circle. So that's where you shall find yourself as you adjust your pearl here. Even in explosive situations, you will learn how to use your tools and progress and flow with life.